All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to another very special episode of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad you could all join me here today for this very special show. This is going to be probably one of the most informative shows I've ever done because it's going to clearly explain the reason why many people behave a certain way out here on YouTube. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. Also, it is 2 days away from the first hearing of my circuit civil case that I filed as the plaintiff on another YouTuber out here that I've known for over 8 years that has caused a lot of reputational harm towards me and violated my copyright majorly through many rebroadcasts of my entire live streams as they're happening live. Also, many third parties within his group are doing that when he's not doing that. Commercial exploitation, defamation for dollars, a major smear campaign, and in my opinion, all because many people cannot regulate their emotions. And this is something serious, folks, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. Before we get to that, let me make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. The back end of YouTube seems to be rolling well. Notification has gone out. And let me do a sound check real quick. Okay, everything seems to be rolling well. Let's get right to it. The topic of this show is dysregulated people on YouTube and how this affects them and others. One more time, the topic of today's show is dysregulated people on YouTube and how this affects them and others. I've been creating out here on YouTube for over 8 years. I've been on YouTube since it came out over 20 years ago as a consumer of content, even back in the days when it first started, before Google bought YouTube. I think it was like for $1.6 billion or something like that. And now the company's worth like $500 billion, like $500 billion. It's just amazing what YouTube has turned into. It's a great place for people to create. And I enjoy creating out here. It has the best video quality for creators and the best tools and the best support. But along with that experience, you're going to be dealing with a lot of different types of people, a lot of different personality types. And everyone out here that's creating has different types of content. Some people create drama content. Some people create non-drama content that's informational and helpful, right? Like how-to videos. Or motivational and inspirational type of videos, and personal development / self-help type of videos, which is what we do here at the GNA. That's my purpose, and that's what I enjoy doing. And when you're trying to reach the proper target market that, would appreciate your content and would benefit from your content, you're going to come across a lot of different types of creators and other, like I'll say, wannabe creators, people that are not really creators, but they create channels and they come on YouTube to run constant daily drama, content where they intentionally attack other people, shame other people, humiliate other people. defame other people. And I've grown to more so realize, after doing a lot of soul searching over the years and doing a lot of analysis, not just through ChatGPT like many people use today, but just, seeing it hands-on from myself, and also, being with my wonderful, amazing girlfriend, Dawn, who has dealt with emotional issues and trauma, and who has also herself struggled with regulating, her emotions. And I say that respectfully because she's talked about it, and we want to help people turn that around. A lot of these creators that are running those drama channels are dysregulated people. And let me do this real quick. Let me just read to you. What are dysregulated people? Dysregulated people experience intense, overwhelming emotions and stress responses that are disproportionate to situations, often manifesting as extreme mood swings, impulsive outbursts, or emotional shutdowns. Signs include chronic irritability, difficulty calming down, cognitive fog, and intrapersonal conflict. This state, often stemming from trauma, chronic stress, or mental health conditions. Example, BPD, which is borderline personality disorder, and PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, causes a person to become stuck in high alert or disengagement. And I'm more so beginning to realize what has affected me out here, what has affected my growth, what has affected my mental health, because despite what many other people may think, I am regulated. And I think in a regulated way, and I behave in a regulated way. I am one that can contain my emotions. Now, have I lost my shit every now and then? Who hasn't? Even regulated people have moments. But there's a difference between having moments at times and being constantly in a heightened state of emotion and overreacting constantly. That is a dysregulated type of emotional behavior. And I'm growing to realize that there is nothing you can really do to help these people. You can be very nice to them. You can, be supportive. You can try to tell them, hey, this is not worth it. Why are you coming out here and attacking people when you can just ignore them? Are they really bothering you? Or is this something that you need to regulate yourself, right? And I'll say this. Let's just come out and get to the point. And I may have to mention a few creators by their creator name here, not their real name. And even if their first name is being used, again, it's for example purposes, right? Let's talk about the creator that goes by GLM. Let me first start off by saying that I don't have any issues with her or anyone else. Technically, I don't have any issues. I don't have any hatred for her or anyone else. And I'd like to consider, at least people on GLM's end of things as friends, right? And I still consider the people over there that support GLM's, let's just call it what it is, a drama channel. I support them at a human level. Do I support what they do on that channel? Absolutely not. It's dysregulated behavior, right? Now, here I am, someone clearly identifying this type of behavior. And when people are talked about in a proper way, when you share something that's true about these people being dysregulated, and you say it in a kind way so they can learn to understand the behavior and how they're coming off because you want to help them turn it around, they get highly offended by it and they become even more dysregulated. When you're dealing with dysregulated people, in my opinion, from what I've seen, the more you try to help them by effectively trying to pour water on their fire to help extinguish the fire, right, and be there for them in a supportive way, they misinterpret the water you're trying to pour on them to help them as fuel. And what happens when you pour fuel on a fire that's already burning? It burns out of control. That's in essence what's happening, right? And because of what's been happening over lately at GLM's channel, there are a bunch of people out here that have been surrounding me as their content, right? There's a group of people. The person that I'm suing, he has several creators within his network that also create, not at the level he does. They're basically, I'll basically call them like affiliates of the defendant, because they share the defendant's audience. And the defendant's audience, the guy that I'm suing, the defendant's audience is primarily 95+% Eli haters. They want nothing but Eli content. So, every single thing I do on YouTube, even if it has nothing to do with them, if I go to other channels, they follow me there. And they do whatever they can to try to tie me in to their content product, which is me, right? Now, I've learned to ignore it. I'm talking about it because I want to teach a lesson, and I am emotionally sound. I'm emotionally regulated. I'm cool, calm, and collected, and I'm just sharing what's actually happening. I'm the only one that's sharing this in a cool, calm, and collected way. Why? No disrespect to everyone else in these communities. The rest of you are dysregulated. Now, respectfully speaking to my lady, Dawn, she even said, yes, I'm dysregulated at times. And I told her, I love the fact that you own it and you're trying to better it and get help. Dawn is the only one that has done something to address dysregulation of emotions. She has a psychiatrist and a psychologist. The psychiatrist gives her mental therapy every single week. The psychologist meets with her once every month or so and prescribes her the right medication. And if it's not necessary anymore, he'll take her off medication. She's got a great support system. And that's why Dawn is leaps and bounds ahead in bettering herself and becoming more regulated than the rest of these people. But the rest of these people are dysregulated. Now, some people have said they're dysfunctional and stuff like that. I'm not here to diagnose anyone. I'm just sharing observable behavior, right? Maybe some of them may be dysfunctional, but that's not the proper way to state it, okay? They're dysregulated with their emotions. They're highly reactive people. And a lot of it, like I said earlier, probably stems from trauma, unresolved past trauma, abandonment issues, etc., right? Okay. Now, some things transpired lately. I'm here to run a business, a proper business. A proper business to help people with personal development type of content, to uplift them, inspire them, and motivate them to become the best version of themselves they can be, to teach them to learn, to teach people to learn to love themselves. And when you have self-love, that automatically radiates to the world that you're happy and in a good place without having to say it. And it makes your life a hell of a lot easier when you're in that state, right? But from what I've realized is dysregulated people aren't open to that, even though they need it more than regulated people, because regulated people have already done the work, right? Dysregulated people, they're the ones that need the help the most. And if you try to legitimately help them because you care about them, they attack you because they come back and say, what, do you think I'm broken? You think there's something wrong with me? It's not that there's something wrong with you, okay? But there's something that you're struggling with that's affecting you from being regulated. Now, most people would interpret that as, yes, there is something wrong with you. You could look at it that way, and that may be what it is. But you can try to be nice, take the nice approach and say, you're dysregulated and you're very reactive to every little thing, even things that don't warrant any reaction, right? So I'm here to help people. The GNA is here to help people. Now, along the way, I've met many people on YouTube. And I've realized a lot of the people that I met and got to know and like, at a core, are good people and either enjoy our content here and get value from it, or they just like being around people like myself and people like my lady Dawn, because we're in a stable relationship. And people that may be struggling with their stability, their mental and emotional stability, they naturally want to be around people that are stable because they're trying to get to a stable point themselves. But at the same time, people that are not stable, when they see stability, it makes them feel sometimes like they're jealous of what stable people have. And there's nothing to be jealous of, because all you have to do is work on yourself, get the right help so you can get your emotions regulated in a more healthy way. In my opinion, all of these dysregulated people are living their life, at the very least, in a mentally and emotionally unhealthy way, in my opinion. And what happens when you live your life in an unhealthy way, mentally and emotionally? You start to give up on yourself. You start to eat more, maybe drink more. You gain weight, which makes you physically unhealthy. You start to spiral out of control, and your matters get worse. Instead of saying, hey, I need help, and I just can't do this drama anymore. I just can't be in this drama loop that basically puts a pacifier on the problem every day, temporarily. But does it really put a pacifier on the problem? No, it makes the matters worse. It creates back and forth with people on YouTube that are also dysregulated. So you've got a dysregulated drama creator going back and forth with a dysregulated drama creator. And they need that dopamine rush and that drama to somewhat stabilize their emotions. And it would take at least one of them to just completely withdraw and ignore the other side for the cycle to stop. But they both can't stop because they feel that they need that back and forth to regulate their dysregulated emotions. And here I am trying to run a business and I have people like this in my chat. And it's not that I don't like them. I do. It's not that I don't want them there. I do. What I don't want are dysregulated people creating chaos in my chat to where new people don't want to come here for help and to consume and enjoy our content. That's the problem. That's the problem. Give me just a second. You know, there are lots of people on YouTube that listen to what I say and watch me very closely. I really thank you for that. And despite what their opinions may be publicly or otherwise, what matters is what's actually being said. And what I'm saying here today, if people learn to identify this, they can turn their lives around. They can have a better and happier and healthier type of life. All of these dysregulated people, right? They've always been that way. I just didn't. I knew there was something wrong. I just didn't know how to articulate it the best way possible. I had to do some more research. I've been doing a lot of research on this lately because I've really wanted to get to the bottom of it. You know why? Because now it's affecting my lady. My lady really likes GLM and truly wants to support her and her group. Now, my lady knows that GLM's channel is a drama channel. But GLM wasn't bringing that drama to my lady Dawn or other people in the chat. And that's why I had no problem with it. I'm not going to tell my lady where to go or what to do. And if she enjoys something, no problem. But here's when it starts to become a problem. It starts to become a problem when it affects my mental health and my lady's mental health. And it also affects what we're trying to create here at the GNA. So what happened a few days ago, like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, a sock account channel that has had many different accounts over the last few years that goes by the name of Sharoma. GLM has tried to lead myself and my lady Dawn and others to believe that that is an actual person. It is an actual person. And I don't have 100% proof on who it is, but the cadence is comparing a sock account to an actual real creator's account, because there are many creators out here on YouTube that have an actual YouTube channel where they use their name and they show their face and they're a real person. But then they also troll on sock accounts, right? The cadence of Sharoma's accounts leads back to one person, and that is the Louisiana man. I'm not going to mention his name. He's the Louisiana man. And interestingly enough, there's another stream that's happening right now at the same time, and he's botting that stream and botting my stream here. Why? Because the Louisiana man, in my opinion, is dysregulated. That's it. Because instead of saying, hey, let me walk away from this, I'm not involved in this, right? Anytime that somebody calls him out on the truth, he overreacts and starts to, one, live view bot channels, and then starts talking trash in ways like he's talked trash on his regular channel. Sharoma days ago said, Eli, get a job. And at that point, I knew it was Louisiana man. Then my lady went into GLM's chat where Sharoma was there, a.k.a. the Louisiana man, and had a conversation. And Louisiana man is really good at antagonizing people and making them feel the need to respond. And that's what he did to Don. So Don was being nice and courteous and kind and told Louisiana man, a.k.a. the Sharoma sock account, about some of our finances, our mortgage and all that. First of all, I'm not upset that Don shared that. We've talked about it publicly before. Don didn't do anything wrong. But what I'm going to come out here and say, regardless, our finances, how we pay our bills, and what we do on our private time that we don't want to make publicly, we don't want to put publicly out there, is our business. Now, we put a lot out public because we want to lead by example. And we're not trying to hide anything, but all Sharoma, a.k.a. the Louisiana man, is trying to do is get a reaction. And then in turn, that reaction gets screenshotted and then creates other live streams through the people that are what I call affiliates alongside the defendant in my circuit civil case. Because they have to feed their audience content that's related to me in some way, shape, or form. Or they don't get the same traction, donations. They probably don't get the same dopamine hit or feeling, right? And I believe, in my opinion, that, you know, they are emotionally anchored to what Don and I do. They're looking at us very closely, and I'm not going to complain about that. It's YouTube. You can look at whatever you want. But I mean, these people, they watch us so closely. I actually went on to the Flex's show last night. It was not GLM's show. It was Mr. Flex's show that Flex had given GLM permission to rebroadcast on her channel. With permission, no problem, right? So the stream was on Flex's Rumble channel and simulcasted on GLM's YouTube channel with permission by Flex. No problem. That's the proper way to do it, right? And some things happen. I'm going to talk about it. But before I talk about it, I'm going to actually take a break real quick. We are at 29 minutes, and I'm going to take a quick break because when I'm going on the fly like this, I need to take a break because, first of all, I need to use the restroom. Also, that's the real reason. And I just want to rethink my thoughts and make sure that I say everything as clearly, properly, and professionally as possible. So, before we get into that, and then once I finish that, I'm going to get into a few other things regarding, what's really going on, like a deep analysis. I have ChatGPT open. I ran this through ChatGPT. Typically, I would output a Word file and convert it to PDF and omit things, but I'm going to be reframing this on the fly from the original. I didn't have time to do that today. I've got a lot going on. I've been working on my hearing prep, and I'm pretty much almost done with it. I've got maybe an hour of work to do after this show ends, which the show will probably be another hour and a half. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, I have a meeting with the G&A executive team, with Dawn, Sandra, Tia, and ODN. So let's go ahead and cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Oops. There we go. All right, we're all good. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a quick break, and we'll see you all on the flip side. We'll be right back. We are back live. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Yeah. Just gonna scratch it and get right back down to business. Sorry. Yeah, that's whiskey. Humma humma. Yeah, bye humma humma. Anyway, welcome back to the show, everyone. Gonna get right back to it here. It's very interesting. I kind of almost feel like I'm a regulator. And I'm going to get more into that in just a second here before I continue leading off where I left off before the break. But before we do that, let me make sure that the audio is going through. Give me a second here. We're just going to scratch it and get right back down to business. All right, we're good. There's a song called Regulators by Nate Dogg and Warren G. Regulators! Right? Now, I say that because I'm beginning to realize what I have truly been, or at least try to be out here on YouTube. I've tried to be a regulator for all the right reasons because I care about people. I say that because I've seen a lot of people that have been dealing with emotional issues and abandonment issues and just other traumatic issues, right? And I feel for those people. I have empathy, despite what some people may think out here. Because the people that think I have no empathy are the people that are dysregulated. That's the truth of the matter. And the reason why they feel that way is because I'm regulated and they want to be regulated. But for some reason, they just can't snap out of it or decide to get the help to turn it around, right? And by me caring so much about people and trying to be the regulator per se, essentially what I've been doing is trying to carry the weight of everyone's emotions, emotional trauma and everything and I've tried to be understanding and I've tried to appease these people because I know when you don't appease these types of people, it's like pouring more fuel on their dysregulation. Right? But I've gotten to the point of where I'm coming out here publicly today and saying that I can no longer carry that. It's too much for me, and it's affecting me from being able to do what I was meant to do out here. And it's affected me in many other ways. I don't have to get into that. But I'm no longer going to carry the weight of trying to be the regulator through what we do here at the GNA and through what I've done in the past when I was known as Coach Eli, right? And the truth of the matter is that in order for the GNA to move forward, we cannot have dysregulated people saying things in the chat that totally go against what we're trying to do here. Dysregulated people bring all their chaos into any chat they go to, let alone their own channel, is chaotic in the first place, right? And listen, if you want to continue to be chaotic, that is your choice. In some cases, maybe it's not your choice. Maybe it's something you need to get some really serious help with, through a therapist or a psychiatrist or both. But what you do on your channel, keep it on your channel regarding drama, dysregulation, etc. If you're going to come into my house and bring your chaos in my house, I don't want that here. It's not a good look for the business, but it's also not good for my mental health and everyone else's mental health here at the GNA. That includes my girlfriend, Dawn, who herself has been working through emotional stuff and is leaps and bounds way further ahead than most other people in these groups out here on YouTube, these drama groups out here on YouTube that are surrounding us, not because we want them to surround us or we want to be a part of what they're doing, because they have anchored themselves to us. They have anchored themselves to us. Because the truth of the matter is, in essence, myself and my girlfriend Dawn and other executives here at the GNA have been carrying the weight of their dysregulation. And we're no longer going to do that. That doesn't mean we don't like you. That doesn't mean we have hatred towards you or wish you any harm. We don't. It just means we don't want your chaos here. And I don't want chaos, period. I don't want chaos. I don't want outrage. I don't want any of that here. That's all I've been trying to say. But someone, for example, and GLM, I have love for you regardless of what you think. But it doesn't matter how nice I come off to you. You're set in your ways, and you're a very reactive type of person, even to the smallest thing. That is not me trying to criticize you. That is just observable behavior that anyone can see. Now, on that stream last night, there was a stream that Mr. Flex did last night. GLM rebroadcasted that stream. Okay. And they've been talking about me for the last several days, and I've just been ignoring it. Dawn's been going there and chatting, trying to keep peace, trying to do the right thing. She has the best intentions. She had the best intentions being there, right? I went and did my walk last night. I came home. And Dawn was telling me, oh, they're still talking about you. Oh, okay, I'm going to pop on for a few. I'm going to pop on for a few. Because Dawn told me that GLM had left. And it was Mr. Flex running his show. It was ODN, one of our GNA executives, and he was saying nice things about myself and the GNA. And it was another guy that goes by the name of Torp, right? I pop on there, and literally, like 20 seconds after I pop on or so, GLM pops on, and then all of a sudden, my StreamYard, it seemed like my browser where I was on StreamYard on my iPhone was shut down. Then I realized I was kicked off. Apparently, GLM has administrative access to Flex's StreamYard. That's on Flex. Flex, that's your decision. You can give access to whoever you want, right? She kicked me off. I then tried to get back on. I was able to get back on. Apparently, she didn't ban me. I know you can ban people on StreamYard. I came back on, and I said, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, this is ridiculous. And she kicked me off your show. And Flex started to come in and try to calm things down. And I wasn't trying to stir anything up, Flex. And I'm not mad at you, Flex. Flex, I'm not going to talk smack about you. I'm going to share the observable behavior because the choices you made on that stream last night is part of observable behavior, not just by me, but anyone else who was watching that stream. And other people were screen recording it and have used it as their content. I'm not surprised. It is what it is. It's YouTube. Whatever, right? Literally, less than a minute after I came back on, Flex ended the show. He ended the show because he didn't want to piss off GLM. Now, wait a minute, Flex. Respectfully speaking, you're a man. I respect you as a man. One man to another. Okay? It's your show. And you can run your show any way you want. But you chose to shut down your show because GLM, who's a close friend of yours, and I don't know how close she is to you. You've said you're just friends. It's all good. That's your business, right? You've said that you're just friends. You're not dating. There's nothing romantic, right? So you don't owe anything to her. You've been a good friend. You've been more than a good friend, right? But you don't realize what you did by ending your show over GLM coming in, kicking me off her panel, after nothing wrong was done to her. What did I do wrong to her? I did a stream several days before that, and I said, in general, I didn't mention her name. In general, I don't want hate. I don't want defamation in my chat. I don't want, people being attacked. And I had run many shows previously to that over the past month or so. I also sent many emails to many people, including my executive team and including to GLM and others, and told them I can't have this on my channel. She chose to disrespect boundaries that are necessary for my business to be successful. Our business here at the GNA. So I did nothing wrong. I'm on Flex's stream to have a conversation, a respectful, civil conversation about everything, because they were talking about me. Okay, you're talking about me. Let me come on and clear the air, right? She kicks me off and Flex ends the stream because he doesn't want to upset her. I'm sorry, Flex. I say this respectfully. I still like you. We're good. It's up to you if you still want to be good after this. I'm good. But Flex, that was a weak move. That was a pathetically weak move. And I know it sounds mean to say it that way, but it's the truth. That was a pathetically weak move. You basically just gave your power away to GLM in an unnecessary way. You not only displayed weakness with that action you took, you also unknowingly, or maybe knowingly, continued to enable that crappy behavior. That's what you did. You think you're helping her by ending your stream. And that's not the case. And I think you know that. You're much smarter and better than that, Flex. Right? See, Flex, the truth of the matter is, and I say this respectfully, GLM has a hot temper. And in my opinion, her emotions are not regulated. Okay? And she needs support because the behaviors I have seen coming from her are extremely vile and just ridiculous and unnecessary. And it's worse than that, but you get the point, right? I'm not here to hurt anyone, including her. But in essence, you care about her. you want to do the right thing to help her, but all you did by ending your stream is telling her that your behavior is okay. If you come on a panel when Eli or someone else that you feel there's something wrong with that person or you feel they did you wrong, that I'm just going to end my stream every time. You're telling her that you would do that every time. Flex, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. A massive disservice. And honestly, Flex, respect. I think you're a great guy. I'm not here to attack you or criticize you. I'm here to present observable behavior. Maybe you'll talk about this tonight. Maybe you and Flex and all of the other drama people will pop on a panel and have another dysregulated conversation. Right? Maybe you'll come out and say, Eli has no clue what he's talking about. Eli is a loser. Eli is this and that, right? Because here's what happens, Flex. I'm not saying you're going to do this, but other people do it, right? I'm here speaking with substance about the truth of the matter, trying to help people legitimately. You folks know that. And when you can't come back and respond to the principle of the matter of what I'm talking about because you know I'm right, the only thing left to do is run a panel and have people come on the panel to insult me, right? And if you folks want to insult me over the truth of what's going on, because I care about you and I want you folks to get the help and turn things around, then do what you got to do, right? Do what you got to do. But if you folks think that ending that stream last night was the best thing to do for GLM, all you did was give her more of what she thinks she needs to try to regulate dysregulation of emotions. Right? After the show ended, we were talking backstage on StreamYard. Flex, Torp, ODN, and I. I stayed on for about maybe 5 minutes. And then it got so chaotic. No disrespect. Torp, I don't have any issues with you. But it got so chaotic even with you, Torp, because I couldn't get a word in. I felt like I had to justify myself to you, Flex. And not Flex, sorry, Torp. Sorry, Flex. I felt like you were trying to get me to justify why I'm doing what I'm doing out here, Torp, and I don't have to justify that to anyone. I already know what I'm doing here. The truth of the matter is, Torp, I'm not criticizing you. You're in the drama realm. You love the drama. You love the chaos. That's you. That's not me. We're playing in two different ballparks, and maybe that's what you were trying to say, Torp. If I kept saying Flex during that part, it's more so to Torp, right? Torp, you were trying to tell me that. Why not just completely focus on a different audience? I've been trying to do that. But now they got my lady involved. And my lady was feeling that what was happening was forcing her to choose between being friends with GLM and other people in GLM's chat or doing the right thing for the GNA. It created a conflict of interest for the business. At the same time, it triggered my lady's abandonment issues that she's been working so hard to get better at. So now what happened there put my lady in a state, respectfully, babe, we've talked about it, it put her in a state of deregulation. So now she feels the need to explain herself and explain that what people are saying about us isn't true. And then you got people like Sharoma, a.k.a. the Louisiana man, preying on the vulnerabilities of my lady for drama content. right? And then it creates screenshots for a separate group that's led by the defendant I'm suing that has multiple other creators that do their own drama streams that they have to relate back to me, or their audience won't show up and they won't donate. They're taking screenshots of that, putting it on their community wall, and then doing a live stream. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I want no part of this. This is ridiculous. It's stupid. This is dysfunctional, in my opinion. And yes, even those creators over there are dysregulated. They try to come off like they're regulated, but they're not. Because if they were, they wouldn't be so fixated on following me around everywhere. They have the right to do that. It's YouTube, right? Some people say maybe stalking. They have the right to watch whatever they want to watch. If they want to watch me closely wherever I go, screen record in case someone takes a stream down like Flex and then use it as content on their show. That's on them. All I'm going to do is talk about the ridiculous behavior and what it boils down to. It's basically a bunch of people dysregulated and using YouTube and their content and these drama groups and conflict and outrage to try to attempt to regulate themselves, right? I don't think, and I'm not saying I'm all that, I'm just speaking on what I observe. And I don't think anyone else, this entire group of people can put it out there as clearly as I'm able to do. Let me see here. Give me a second. And now the defendant has a stream planned tonight. So much to talk about. I bet, sir. I bet you're going to talk about all of the dysfunction and dysregulation, and you're going to. And here's the thing. In my opinion, he's dysregulated as well, in my opinion. So he's just a little bit more structured with that dysregulation, in my opinion, to be able to take everyone else's dysregulation and put it out there as content for donations, right? This cycle will never end until people just remove themselves from it, right? And I don't want to be a part of this. Like, I don't do anything to antagonize these people. All I've done is talk about behavior, observations, behavioral analysis and observations. That's it. That's why I'm in court, partially because I want nothing to do with this group. I want them to leave me alone. And I'm not saying they can't talk about me. It's their freedom of speech. But do it lawfully. Don't abuse my content, copyright. Don't defame me. Don't say things that aren't true, right? Do it the right way, no problem. But these people don't do it the right way. They violate your copyright. They use your entire stream while you're live, taking away live viewers. When the defendant's not doing it, one of 3 or 4 other people that are a part of his group, they're doing it, and then the defendant shows up in the chat, right? It's chaos, dysregulation, and it's in my opinion, it's not worth anyone's time. If you are truly looking to better your life and have a drama-free life, and you're looking to get emotionally healthy and physically healthy, groups like these are not gonna be beneficial to you no matter what you think. They're not, right? So yes, sir, there's a lot to talk about. You can talk about it all you want. It's not going to be any different than what I'm saying here, but you're going to present it in a different way that works for your dysregulated audience. In my opinion, I feel your audience is dysregulated, just like you. Right? It's like, in essence, that group, especially the defendant, is capitalizing off of dysregulated people that need help to get better. And instead of him trying to motivate and inspire them to get better, he basically uses them as, the base of his storyline. They may not be the storyline, the audience, but they are dysregulated people that are going there to consume content of the defendant talking about other dysregulated people while being dysregulated himself. This is a very, very toxic, constant loop you can get easily sucked into if you don't understand it as clearly as I'm explaining it. Now, I was going to read off of ChatGPT. I have freestyled this whole thing. Why? I've lived it. I know how to talk, and I know what's happened. I'm not even going to read off of ChatGPT. I pretty much said everything I've had to say because I've been living this. I don't need a script to talk about something that I am living and seeing firsthand. What I got to say is this, right? How long do you folks want to stay in this cycle of dysregulation? No one wants to be in that state. It's not a healthy state. It's not a happy state. Why would you want to keep staying in that state? That's what's happening here, right? And instead of coming at me and attacking me for speaking clearly and concisely about what's happening, how about shift your energy on focusing on yourself and getting to a better emotional state and getting to a more regulated state? Give me a second. Okay, I was asking if Dawn had a quote that she could send to me via text. And she said, not for this show. Okay. Perfect. I will not be sucked into other people's drama because they have difficulty containing their emotions over average, everyday, normal things that every person deals with. And neither will my lady. My lady and I have talked. I do not tell her what to do. I talk with her and I share with her how this group of people and allowing them to bring their dysregulation into our chat is one of the main things that's affecting our growth. People don't want to be around that. People will see that and they'll say, oh, that person's there, that person's there. It's not that they don't like those people. It's they don't want to be a part of that chaos. It's chaos. I don't tell Dawn what to do, but even Dawn has realized what's going on and how she's even being weaponized and played through GLM's chat. When all she's trying to do is be supportive. Dawn is one of the most supportive people on the planet that I've ever met. The only other people that have supported me more than Dawn is my family, but that just goes without saying. And Dawn is now family, even though we're not married yet, she's family. She will legally be family when we get married soon. Dawn genuinely cares about being there for people. She wants to be there for GLM. She wants to be there for Flex. She wants to be there for other people in that chat. And she even cares about the other people that are dealing with similar things, such as dysregulation. Even though many of those people have attacked her and come at her, and it is frustrating at times, she does care. Even though at times her and I might say, oh, we don't give a damn about these people. No, we do. At a core level, Dawn and I care about everyone at a core level. That doesn't mean we agree with everyone's behavior. And, that doesn't mean we want any part of their chaos. We don't. What it means is that we feel for people that are going through all of this. And for some people, it's out of their control. And we're just trying to say, hey, look, get the help that you need so you get yourself regulated. Because if you continue to live in a dysregulated state and you keep coming out here on YouTube to try to regulate your emotions through drama groups and drama beefs with other dysregulated YouTubers, it's going to get worse. It's going to get more toxic, and it's going to affect your health to a very serious level. And I don't even want to share with you folks how serious it can get, because there are other YouTubers out here that have taken their own lives over stuff like this. And I don't want to see that happen to anyone. You folks are all heading down that destructive path. You're not even realizing. All you're going to do is attack me. You're going to call me C-U-C-K. You're going to say that I'm phony baloney. You're going to say, oh, listen, it's all just noise. It's all just noise. I expect more of it because most of the people that I've talked about, for an example here today, are not regulated. They're not. They need to do some soul searching, and they need to get the right help. If they can't figure it out on their own and start to turn things around and getting a better grip on their emotions and having more emotional self-control, you've got to get the help. Dawn did it. She still does it. She's been with her therapist for 3.5 years. She's had a psychologist for 3 years. You all at least should have insurance, medical insurance. Most insurance policies cover mental health. Because if people get mental health treatment, they're less likely to get sick or have other more serious medical issues that would cost the insurance carrier more money than paying $200 a week for you to see your therapist. Sometimes I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. Sometimes I feel like I'm preaching in the air. And everybody understands this, whether they want to or not. This makes sense. Things that make sense are just automatically understood. That doesn't mean you're going to accept it. You have to learn to understand and accept the reality of your situation and take the necessary courses of action to turn things around for yourselves before it gets too late. That's where I'm going to wrap things up here at 1 hour and 15 minutes. Got a lot of love for all of you. I will more than likely be walking later this afternoon. Got a little more hearing prep to do, and then in about an hour and a half, the meeting with the executives. That being said, have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other!